Hi, I want to personally thank you for choosing Thrive Outdoor Solutions for your lawn sprinkler installation. I wanted to go over a few points with you of things to expect. First off, the contract. Thrive Outdoor Solutions will be sending over a contract. All names that are on the mortgage or the deed of that home, so if you and your spouse, or you and a friend, or your parents, whoever owns the home, will be sent an email with requiring signature for the contract. So please expect to be able to get emails for those involved, all parties involved that are on the mortgage of the home. So again, if you and your spouse will need both of those emails, that way we can send both, and both will need signatures. So that's that contract. Number two, design. We will be designing your lawn sprinkler system over the next 72 hours. Once we complete that design, we will send that design over to you. It will be a PDF format, 11 by 17, unless otherwise noted. But it will be an 11 by 17 PDF document that you can print out if you choose to do so. Of course, once your installation is complete, you will get a hard copy of that design. But to begin, that way you can kind of see what's going to be installed in your yard, how it's going to be designed. We do send that over so you can see it. And of course, if you have any questions, you can contact our office, and somebody, either myself, or an irrigator will get in contact with you to answer all of your questions about the design. Number three, in between now and your installation date, behind the scenes, of course, we will be pulling a permit with the city. The only time we will not be pulling a permit is if you are outside city limits. So there will be a permit pulled on your on your installation, and a requirement for that most of the time is to have the design completed and turned into the city. So we will turn that design into the city, and then some cities require no wait time, others up to 2 weeks. So just note, a lot of times our wait period between signing up for your installation and then the completion, and beginning the actual installation is due to the city requiring a up to 2 week wait on that plan review. So that is also something you should expect. Again, that design will be completed within 72 hours, but a lot of times the wait time is the city while they are reviewing those plans. What to expect? Piping. Now, number one, you will have a trencher that will be going through your yard, so it will be making trench lines. Now, a lot of times, if you're not used to seeing any trench lines in any yards, or open holes that are sometimes up to 2 to 3 feet deep, it can look like it's going to be a mess. But what we ask is, please note that mess will eventually clean up. The grass will fill in. So what you see on the day of completion a lot of times looks more messy, for lack of a better term, than it's going to be when everything grows back in, fills back in. It will look much nicer. Now, I will be adding some photos so that you can see what a completed on day one installation looks like. That way you kind of know what to expect. Sometimes it does seem as though your yard is ruined per se, but we do suggest that you just understand that there will be some wait, but that grass will fill back in and you will never know we were there. So I would expect probably upwards of 2 to 3 month wait time for everything to fill back in. If you are a November, December, January installation, there might be a slightly more wait time, but please note it will fill back in. The boxes that are noticeable in the ground, that we put in the ground on day one, will not be noticeable on month 3, 4, 5. So the grass fills back in, the boxes seem to disappear. Now, we do suggest that you weed eat around those boxes, but that's going to be saved for a different video later. Just note that you will see trench lines, you will see dirt, you will see green lids, and they will stick out on day one. But if you're willing to wait and you understand that the 2 to 3 month waiting period, that there will be grass that fills back in, and those boxes will disappear if you allow them to disappear. We do suggest you keep them clean. That way they're accessible in the future, but what seems messy on day one will clean up and will not be noticeable on month 3, 4, and 5. So that's that. Access. So, another thing in your yard, if you do not have access, that meaning we are not capable of getting a trencher in your backyard, you've got 2-3 tier backyard that does not allow a machine to just get in there, sometimes we do have to hand dig. Now, in hand digging, your trenches will be a little wider than normal. Cleanup is not, what's the word? It's a little different than a trencher, just trenching up the dirt and pushing it to the side and then we push it back. When we do shovels, we are taking chunks of dirt. And sometimes we have to do a little more damage in your yard than we want to. But just like the trencher option, please note that will also fill back in. We always ask that customers understand that this is construction and we are using machinery, but we are not there to tear up your property per se, but we are there to install a sprinkler system. And on day one, it does seem like we've done a major tear up, but I promise, come month 3, month 4, month 5, everything that you saw on day one will look completely different. That grass will fill back in. I just want to reiterate that that grass will fill back in and those boxes will disappear and the mud will be gone. It'll be not so much gone, but the grass will fill back in and you can walk over things that you thought you wouldn't be able to. So that's that. So access, just note, if you don't have much access and we can't, it will be slightly different. We may have to hand dig, but our goal, our number one goal, is to get the sprinkler system in the ground and it follow all rules and codes. So if we can't do it with a trencher, we will be doing it with shovels, but everything will fill back in. It will go back to normal. Please do not be alarmed. It's definitely something to get used to when you're used to your yard being one way and then we come in with the trencher and now there's lines and sometimes wider sections with dirt. It'll all go back to normal, I promise. I don't know what number we're on, but next, once your system is complete, we will have a final walkthrough. That allows me to walk through, or somebody to walk through with you, one of our representatives, to walk through the system with you, teach you how to use your controller. That'll allow us to show you where to shut your system off if there's an emergency. And it also just kind of allows you to kind of start getting comfortable with your system, how to use it, how does it work, what to do in a case of emergency. And of course you will always have us in your back pocket to contact us if you have any questions or needs on shutting things down, turning things on. Yes, so that walkthrough, please remember there will be a final walkthrough, there will be paperwork that's signed, and that, again, that's our opportunity to walk through your system, get signatures stating that we have done everything we're supposed to do on your side, showing you how to use, giving you a schedule, and then we will turn that paperwork into the city, and that will satisfy the city from the rules of their requirements of having that paperwork ready. You will also have somebody arrive at your property once we're completed, usually within 72 hours, to test your backflow device. It is a device that we are required to install with your system that keeps your drinking water safe. That is actually what's most important to the city. Again, there will be somebody that arrives separately from us to come test that backflow, which is also a part of the satisfying the city. So do not be alarmed. Please keep that and write that down as an expectation. Of course, they will probably be at your property for no more than 5 to 10 minutes. It's a quick get in, get out, but that is a requirement by the city that we do have it tested by a licensed backflow tester, which will allow the city to see that your device is working and ready to protect your the drinking water. Lastly, inspection, final inspection. You either are a city that has one final inspection or two inspections, one being an open ditch or an open backflow area inspection, and then the final, or just the final. If you are in North Richland Hills, the city of Euless, those are the only two that are off the top of my head. Those two cities do require open ditch and open backflow, so your final inspection may have to be pushed back to day 2. Normally our installations, if you're an acre or less, normally our installations only take 1 day. and then we schedule inspection. If you are a 2 inspection city, it may be 2 to 3 days. Please note that's because we are working with the city's boundaries. They do require open ditch, so they will need to come to your home the day after we complete to look at everything and give us the green tag on the open ditch and seeing that everything was done to their satisfactory. And then on day 2 or 3, depending on scheduling goes, then you will have your final inspection. And then we will be complete. We will give you a copy of the green tag if we get one. Some cities are a digital green tag, which we don't receive. It just gets put into the system as a pass. Other cities actually give us a physical green piece of paper. We will just give that to you and you can keep it. So if you ever choose to sell your home, you will have a copy of that green tag. But either way, no matter what city you're in, unless you're outside city limits, you will always have a permit pulled and you will always have a final inspection. We believe that protects you, and it also shows you that we did what we said we're going to do. So again, we want to thank you for joining us or allowing us to install a sprinkler system at your home. We take that trust. We do not take that trust lightly. We are happy that you've chosen us, and we thank you again for picking Thrive Outdoor Solutions. Have a wonderful day.